In this video, I'm going to talk to you about my recent heart failure, explain to you what exactly happened, and also we'll just have a quick look at a curry that I was making with my boys, and also some marinated roasted beef that goes onto Meat Lovers pizzas that I made from scratch, again with my boys.
How are you going? Just a quick video to say I'm doing well. It's a week now that I've been home since the hospital. And yeah, that was a bit of a worry. Long story short, I had heart failure. So what that means was for quite a long time, I can remember as far back as a year ago, my body was swelling, excuse me, my lower extremities, my feet, my legs, my stomach. And I assumed it was because of overeating or just sitting down too much. Didn't really pay much attention to it properly. Kind of showed doctors, and doctors were like, oh yeah, you got a bit of swelling there, and have you looked at your weight, rah, 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 are you diabetic, da, da, da. And then so what happened was about a month or so ago, I was getting chest pains, and I went in to the doctor, and he booked me in for a bunch of scans and stuff like that. And then over the next couple of weeks, no chest pains at all, but I blew up like a balloon. Like, it was insane, and it was absolute agony. I really felt like I had to stab my legs and my feet and my stomach and just let the pressure out. It was just ridiculous. I couldn't walk. I couldn't sleep. I had to basically sit up in an upright position and stack pillows on my computer desk high and basically put my head forward on the pillows to breathe and to sleep. And I did that for about 2 weeks because I stupidly thought it was going to go away. At the time, I started drinking lots of water, thinking I need to flush my kidneys or my liver or something. I was doing that and I was forcing down water. But what I didn't know was my heart failed to pump properly, and it wasn't pumping properly, and it was not pumping fluid out of my body. Essentially, I wasn't going to the toilet enough to get rid of the fluid. So it was all staying in my body. So if you can imagine a full glass of water, or a 3/4 glass of water, if you tilt the glass, the water level moves. That's essentially what was happening to me. If I sat upright, all the water sat down to as low as it could go in my body, which was up to my chest. It was stretching out my skin and my body because it had nowhere else to go because of gravity. When I tried to lay down, that water level tips, and that would go into my lungs and crush my lungs and stop me from breathing if I tried to sleep and stuff like that. I just couldn't handle it anymore because of my agoraphobia. I wouldn't go to the doctor. I wouldn't go to hospital. One night, I couldn't walk without feeling like I was going to have a heart attack. I couldn't take 3 steps without breathing insanely. It was nuts. I bit the bullet, said to my wife, we need to go to hospital. I went to the hospital and we parked right out front of emergency, and I couldn't walk from the car to emergency. And when I got to the window, they were like, oh dear, put me in a wheelchair and took me straight into emergency. And then that began a week of treatment. And just to show you how extreme it was, the first day of draining me, basically they put me on a drip in my arm with stuff that makes me pee. And my first day, 24 hours, I lost 10 kilo of weight just shedding water. For my American friends, I think that's about 45 pounds maybe. But yeah, first day, 10 kilo. It was just incredible. And then over the next week, I just watched my body slowly shrink back. Like, I'm a big guy already, don't get me wrong. But I was enormous and bloated. And over the 2 weeks, I've lost 20 kilo, which is a good thing. But that's just pretty much fluid. So now I'm on tablets. I'm continuing with the stuff that makes me shed water. I'm on stuff for my heart and things like that. And the worst thing is, from day one, I was on a 1.5 litre water restriction diet, or liquid restriction. So for the entire day, that includes any fruit, ice creams, custards, any type of thing that turns into a liquid. I could only have 1.5 litres. Thankfully, I got the doctor to change that to 2 litres, and I'm on that indefinitely. And it's hard, especially in the hot weather. So anyway, I feel great. I've had no chest pains since way back when. Eventually, they put me to sleep and they put a tube down my stomach to look at my heart, and then they shocked the heart back into a proper rhythm. And luckily for me, it was the first go. So that's good. So that part is hopefully we need to watch and see what's going on. And there's obviously ongoing tests now for my arteries and things like that. But the other problem I had was my heart was actually rapidly beating. Like, I don't know what it is. I think maybe 70, 80 beats a minute or something is normal or average. I don't know. But when I presented at hospital, I consistently was doing 155 heartbeats a minute. And they were terrified because if there was any blood clots in my system, they could shake the blood. That beating would shake blood clots free, and that's not good. Yeah, so it took them about 5 days of medication to get my heartbeat down. But it was funny because every time I moved in bed or had to get up to pee, my heartbeat would go through the roof, and they'd all come running, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I was oblivious. I didn't feel it. I never felt a tremor, nothing. So yeah, for those Aussies watching, Echuca and Bendigo hospitals were where I was at. I got moved to the cardio unit at Bendigo because it's so sophisticated. And I cannot tell you how good everyone from the cleaners to the nurses to the doctors were at both hospitals. I was stressing out at the time, and they gave me my own room because of my agoraphobia. And don't get the wrong idea, but it was like staying at a hotel with private touchscreen TV where I could order meals and stuff off from a menu. And this is public, by the way, not private care. This is just a normal public hospital that any person can go to for free. And yeah, movies on demand and TV, and they were always coming in, checking on me, coming around, offering tea, coffee, Milo, whatever, little biscuits. Obviously, with my liquid diet, I had to reject tea and coffee and Milo. For my American friends, Milo is basically like hot chocolate. It's a malt chocolate drink. Everyone loves it in Australia, hot or cold. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think, everything I wanted to fill you in on. But I'm back to cooking and stuff like that. If you look here, I've got chicken breasts and I've just made a marinade. This is sriracha and garlic and ginger, smoked paprika. It's got bicarb soda there. That softens the chicken. That's what they do in Chinese cooking, and that's why you can see how it's kind of bubbly, airy. That's because of the bicarb soda reacting with the liquid. That's a marinade for myself and 2 of my boys are home by ourselves tomorrow. So I'm making a really nice, hot, eye-watering, nose-running red chicken curry for tomorrow night. Check this out. Then the next day, we're home again by ourselves. So I'm going to make pizzas from scratch. And if you have a look here, that there is roast beef. And I've got it packed in a bag, vac sealed, with red wine, garlic, black pepper, red onions, a little bit of salt. So then boys and I are going to do meat lovers pizzas. And I'm going to take that beef out. I'm going to roast it in a cast iron, get some nice charcoal darkening on the skin on the outside, then roast it rare, let that rest for the afternoon. And then when we make our pizzas in a couple of nights' time, we'll be slicing strips of blood red, rare, marinated beef on top of those pizzas. We'll probably make a couple, and they'll have like red onion and things like that on them with bacon and stuff. But the heart patient, I'm talking about my heart and showing you all this stuff. So yeah, I am doing well, and I've got to get back into the garden. The garden, it's a shocker. I lost most of my strawberries and tayberries and stuff like that. So I've been watering things, trying to get things to come back to life, but it's all right. I've still got time to plant all my melons and, I don't know, some corn and stuff like that, some beans, I guess. I can do potatoes and things too, so it's not a total loss. I've just got to start from scratch again. I've got a few volunteer tomatoes floating around, which I'll dig up and repot. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi and let you know what was going on. It's been ages. I'm so sorry. I've been sick for so long, and I did want to tell people earlier because I, when it comes to the heart and stuff like that, people are like, "Oh, is this serious?" And I didn't want to start alarming people and carrying on, but quite frankly, I just didn't know for all this time. For the best part of a year, I had no idea that when I had I had COVID, I think a year ago, and then I had a really bad flu about 3, 4, 5 months ago. And that was when I puffed up and I couldn't walk and everything. And in hindsight, that was my heart. It wasn't the actual flu. It was me ballooning up and holding onto that water and stuff. Yeah, and then obviously the most recent episode is where we discovered. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. If you're still watching, well done. I hope I didn't bore you. Thank you so much for your support. It's been, all of you now, it's been years, and it's incredible. It makes me feel good that people actually care out there, and yeah, it's just amazing. I just wish I could do more for you. I don't know, maybe one day I'll get my head clear and be a better sort of person on the channel for you. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, sincerely, just thank you so much for sticking with me, and your comments here and there and everything. It's always something to look forward to, and it does mean a lot. All right, I'm rambling. Thank you so much, and I've got to finish this marinade. Bye for now.